All right, hi everyone. This is Timmy Angel, and we have a visitor on the show tonight. This is Jeremiah, or AKA Big Money. So, yeah, I just came across him, in a shopping mall, near my truck and everything. So I just want to go over with him some of this stuff, explain to him my philosophy on The Chosen. So I know a lot of you guys have probably read my material, and it's kind of cool, that what I came up with is that all is mind, and it's really one of the first Hermetic rules. But as above, so below, and one of the simple understandings of that is that everything is just as one. We are all one, really. It's just that each of us have, I guess, like, we have different eyes in the beholder. We're all the eyes of God. We're the property of God, but we live in this big consciousness, this big spirit, this community consciousness, and really we have like a video screen in our minds of what everything is like, but everybody's video screen is different. Think of this pineal gland, this third eye. Once you open this up and open up the creative arts and stuff, your ability to sing, your seventh step, it's an enlightenment. The gods or whoever give it to you. It's the 10 powers of the mercy of God. God is the true supreme God. Is whatever his name may be. He's given us this chance, this experience, and what I think of it as is the experience of the initiates. I consider myself an initiate, and I consider this world all mind. So this is my chance. I can either raise myself up and ascend and obtain this higher spirit, or this sky man, what some people will call it, or I can sit it here on the earth and I can just sow myself in the pleasures of the earth, in the darkness. But yeah, this is Jeremiah. Now, did you have any questions for me, Jeremiah, that you could think of? What are you thinking? Are you
ready to get going?
Okay. So tell me about yourself. So you do some videos too on TikTok?
Yes, I do videos on TikTok. I've been thinking about trying to put myself out there more. And I came across Timothy where I was working, and we've been talking for a few months, try to get something going on. And tonight's the first night that we got together. But he's pretty cool. We always talk at my job. So.
Yeah, what I'd truly like to begin will be the theme Sons of the Light. That was something that they came up with that was in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We don't see that stuff because all we know is the Bible, but what I think is that people really have to open up their minds to the other aspects. Like there's Middle Eastern theories, there's Buddhism, there's yoga. Yoga has some things that can teach us all something. You can just sit there and meditate and just clear your mind of all of your problems. That's what I'm thinking. But what kind of religious, philosophical aspect do you have, or what are you into mostly? Just kind of non-religion, or?
I used to go to church, I believe, and I pray, but I don't go to church anymore, but
yeah.
I believe,
I think in this awoke age, I think a lot of people just would rather just chill at the house. I mean, you can go on YouTube, you can find religious material if you want. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not big on religion. It's because what I came across, it's because religion and spirituality is two different things. It's how people present themselves. It's if you're pushing it, then it's a lot of people are drawing back.
Right.
Yeah, but if you're
scaring people away.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm really not trying to put it out there on what I believe. I'm not trying to just force it down your throat or anything. I'm just saying that I think religion and philosophy all melds together. You have to meld it all together. You have to look at the whole of the wholes. You have to look at the whole of all of wisdom, because God is everything. And, in my mind, and in this mind, and it's all mind, a lot of people call this the matrix. A lot of people, like the universe is just this ever expanding infinite space. You know what I mean? It never ends, in my eyes. But yeah, I've just been reading a lot about Hermeticism, the 7 rules of the Hermetic. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
There's all is mind. And what's funny is that a lot of these points are in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, not just it's written in like esoteric wording. That means just the meaning is hidden, but it's there. Like I could show you some things that are really cool. Like for instance, in the Book of Revelations, in the verse, I think it's starts in chapter 6 of Revelations, I believe, and it talks. I can always put this down in the comments, but we see this gold in the final part of our, what I call your final part of enlightenment. That's actually, a lot of people don't know this, but the Book of Revelations comes out to me in my philosophy as a recipe book to enlightenment. Because check this out, I've just found this the other day, but I wish I had the scripture number, but it's in Revelation somewhere. It's in 6, I think, but it's 22, verse 22 of one of them, and it goes over how the city of heaven will look like, once you make your way to heaven. And a lot of people interpret this as, they live, they've been saved, so they're going to go to heaven. They're automatically saved no matter if they sin. And what a lot of people don't realize is that you got to make sacrifices. I fasted for 40 days, actually twice. That's why, I don't know. I've had people call me Jesus, but I interpret it differently. Like a son of God is someone that is a child of God now. He's not a child of the earth anymore. But he's risen. He's ascended to this state in what I call the chosen one. You know what I mean? And once you gain this upper height, you realize we are one, and you try not to judge people. That's one of the things that I've really been working on lately, because I can judge people. And sometimes you gotta just understand their environment causes them to be in a different state. They have different struggles. So everybody struggles, but yeah, I don't know, man. I've just been into this chosen one, and yeah, that's what I was gonna roll out the sons of the light, literally, as one of these elect ones. Because if you read my book, you guys, actually, I wanted to show you. Yeah, I have 2 books now. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you can. I was gonna work on, I was gonna redo the cover later, but it's a very in-depth book. I mean, the words are just so small. It looks like a really thin book, but it's in-depth. It has a lot of writing. There's a lot of words. But I worked a long time. But one of these chapters is the 40-day fast. I talk about my fast, and but I found some of the secrets. I think of just this eternal life. And how we've interpreted it. So, in this book called One with God, I also got a second book, Discrimination of the Law-Abiding Criminal. So yeah, they're on Amazon. Under Timothy Nagel. Just look me up. Look up my name, Timothy Nagel.
Now I'm at Amazon now?
Yeah, these are on Amazon. Yeah, so I worked on these during the pandemic, and I just really haven't had a big chance to really promote the books. But I worked hard on One with God, and I kind of quickly put together the second one. But I think the second one is a little more down to earth.
Which one's the second one?
Discrimination of the Law-Abiding Criminal. I've just put in there how a lot of people have misinterpreted. You can't judge someone just because of the label they have. You have to really look in deep, and just realize that there were other people that. Well, I think one of the philosophies is that people on this earth have to break out of these 12 tormentors. Lust is one of them, anger, malice. It's hard. Every day we struggle every day, with life. You know, because nothing's easy. You know, do you have anybody that yells at you when you go home, or
Yep.
and you got to deal with
Uh,
dealing with them
I wake
politely?
up with demons. I fight demons every day when I wake up.
Yeah. See, what a lot of people don't understand, that's one of the big themes in Revelations to overcome, and that's one of the things I was getting at. But there's this esoteric meaning in those scriptures that I was talking about. But you come to the city of gate, you know, of you know, heaven. I can't remember how they term it, but there's a temple, and there's 12 gates, you know, and 12 pearls. You know the
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
and then it goes on to say that it's gold, but that it's transparent gold. That's the key. See, that's like a hidden word, and if you don't understand it, then you won't really get it. But once you find the gold, which is the spiritual gold, as the alchemist puts it, that's what they're really seeking: the spiritual gold, the spiritual perfection. The upper height of spirituality. The gold. The seventh step of the enlightenment. You've moved on to the eighth state. You've broken the veil, of darkness, and you've spewed out into the light. But that's my goal. Sons of the light. The rebirth of the sons of the light. Bring us back, because this world is evil. I mean, if you ever look at it, I mean, people are stabbing each other in the back, and homicides are up. I mean, we're seeing volcanoes, we're seeing all these, and what it is God's looking down and he's seeing all this evil, and he's saying, look, if you guys don't break this up, if you don't stop, then we're just gonna kill you all.
Yeah. There's a thing I saw on TikTok video, and I looked it up on Google, and it's true. It's like how our country's changing, how people think. It's like basically Illinois is gonna be like almost at purge level with what stuff I've been hearing, where they're gonna allow, because they're planning on
What
abolishing
state? Illinois or what?
Illinois,
They're talking about doing what?
abolishing the bail money.
Oh yeah, abolishing the bail money. Yeah, I heard
Yep.
about that. For anything, or just
Yeah,
for?
they're gonna allow, like, if you report a crime, they're not gonna look for like 48 hours.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
if you call, if the people are trespassing on your property or living in your shed, or you would want someone taken out of your businesses, they cannot legally take them out if you complain about them. It's basically you're judging of if it's legal or not of how you deal with it. They're just gonna like give them a warning and ticket.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this. Wow, but I heard they were trying to roll out some RoboCops in
Yep.
San Francisco. Now
I heard about it. Yeah.
Did you see it? Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I haven't seen it. I
it's
heard about it.
supposedly only for the deadliest circumstances, but still, it's a little scary,
Yeah.
if they started getting these things out,
Yeah.
And that goes back, and that's actually what I put, what I wrote about a little bit in my newer book, Discrimination of the of the Law-Abiding Criminal, that these storybooks, these stories in our lives, they actually seem to come true. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
there's a truth in them. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
think about it, God is in every one of us. He's in the reflection. He's in the floor. He's in the roof. He's in the tarps. God's in everything. He watches us. Like we're his eyes.
Yeah.
All of his eyes.
I've been like going like a lot of 80s music. There's
Yeah.
hidden meanings to a lot of
Oh
songs.
right. Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
there's like a song I listen to, and it's coming true, like how the governments of all the countries want all to become one. There's like a song that one of my favorite songs, but I started listening to it and got a newer meaning to it and stuff. It's from White Lion.
Oh
When
yeah.
Children Cry.
When
Yeah.
the children cry. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I know. I started to look into that one day.
Yeah, and it's like where it says, when the children cry, it's like no more war, no more, like all the nations under one God. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but one religion too. That's what
Yeah.
I've actually been realizing in my latest enlightenment. But what I was going to get to was that the transparency of the gold. That's like kind of a hidden clue. These writers of this Bible, at the time that they were writing it, what a lot of people don't realize is that they risked their necks,
Yeah.
writing. If they wrote something that didn't follow these Pharisees or whatever these people were that ruled religion, then they could have their heads cut off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just literally for saying the wrong thing, or they could be accused of what they called heresy, and they would just burn them at the stake like a witch or a warlock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because they didn't believe whatever. And that's one of the beauties of the U.S. now. In this day and age. Well, to an extent, I mean, you have a freedom of speech. I know they kind of block it. All these super channels like Twitter and Facebook and
Yeah.
TikTok.
I feel like
they
a lot
audit
of-
it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really like the movies, songs way back then. But there's a lot of hidden meanings behind movie music of back then that's coming to true today. Like, do they even know, like, the future?
Right. And this is another thing where when I get into with the Chosen One, see, my theory is, you see, way back in 2020, I did this research, right? I did this birth chart, right? And it came up with a star, and there was a cross.
Yeah.
So I was born on a grand cross, and there was a star on my birth too, just like the Bethlehem star. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
King David star. And anyway, so I started delving into it, just doing research on different stuff. But yeah, I just came to the conclusion that I could be in this environment with, just like in Terminator, the movie Terminator, because my dad's name is O'Connors. Just remember Sarah Connors
Yeah.
from the Terminator? But that could have partly to do with my Chosen One theory. But anyways, Sarah Connor, saves humanity, of course.
Yeah.
But I feel kind of like I have this pressure on me to save humanity, to just show them the truth, and I hope that God gives me this belt of truth. I know He will. I have faith, this shield of faith. But yeah, so it's just, it's pretty in depth with this Terminator, because I just kind of flipped out about the O'Connors thing. But not only that, but just recently on my it's my baby book, right? I was born exactly at 10. In numerology, 10 starts with 1, so you just ignore the zeros. It's just 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. Just think if I've reincarnated over and over and over again, but I was 1 in the beginning. I was Adam, and I'm that lazy soul that has never raised to the height of enlightenment yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until this life. And that's why I have only 2 daughters in this life, because I don't have to create another son, because this is it. I'm going to reach the height in this lifetime. So that's my theory. And so this number 1, right, isn't the only thing. I know hundreds of people have been born on at 10 a.m.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure, but that's not the only thing. But in the numerology of my birth date, August 9th, 1974, it comes out to 38. And just to explain, remember that, what's that movie with Tom Hanks in it? The one, God, I can't even, every time I try to bring up this point, I forget the name of it. But I'll have to put that down in the comments. But there was this book, and it said that there was some kind of secret behind the number 38.
Yeah, you're talking about when he goes into the church or something.
Yes.
I can't remember the name.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
not the Born Identity, but the
No.
I can't think of it offhand. But I'll put it down in the notes or in the comments.
I know the movie you're talking about. Yeah.
But anyways, 38 was the number. That's the number of my birth. And I also saw on my birth chart this sign from William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare wrote part of the Bible, but he had this sign of these 2 crosses, and then the sword going through it, and that's like this picture of invincibility. It's like, just wait for Jesus to be reborn. You know what I mean? Just think, where would Jesus go? Jesus would have to be. But I had some really cool visions too to top it off. I had this vision of this horse coming down, just like the first horse in Revelations. But maybe I just obsessed too much about it. But yeah, so 38, and then you add on the 1, and it's 39, right? So 38 is the chapter where you actually, in the book of Enoch, where you actually, find you basically gain the knowledge of gnosis of how to find your upper seed, your upper self, your inner self. And you got to look inside to find this. But anyways, yeah. So 39 is the chapter about raising and finding your upper seed. I can't remember how, but check out the Book of Enoch and just find chapters 38 and 39. But there's also a chapter in Job 38:7, and just talks about the morning star, in this chapter. But it's like there's not just one morning star. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple morning stars, and what it is that we can all, basically break out of our shell, out of our cocoon, and break into this butterfly form, this light body form, of just the highest, level of spiritual perfection, or even, I don't even think you have to perfect it. I mean, you just have to work at it. And, God, I don't think makes you, perfectly obtain all these levels of enlightenment. But, I just started to notice numbers in, in the environment and stuff, like 1111, and shit like that. Like it's just this long story that I wrote about in my book. But, this guy, this guy gave me a car, right? And even on the air intake it says 111 on it. But he tells me to go there early in the morning to the Secretary of State. I went down there early in the morning, and the registration fee was $111, and I was first in line at the Secretary of State. You know how slim the chances of that are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just one of the factors. And then on my baby book too, it was like from great grandmother Moses. You know what I'm saying? And then my dad and I are born exactly 20 years apart.
Oh, wow.
He was born on August 9th, and I was born on August 9th. That's why I think I carry the torch, of this, of some kind of great seed, for God. So I think I have a great responsibility as the chosen. And once this is realized, the rest of all the seeds will just raise like domino effect, they'll start just falling down, all of them. Once we obtain that, we'll have this grand enlightenment where everybody becomes enlightened, and then we just overpower like all the illusionary that we see in this world. This fake pleasure that we think. That's how I avoid it. I just think of it as fake pleasure. Like, she's not even real anyways. This is a hologram. She could be the hottest girl in the world, and I wouldn't care, because she's just fake. You know what I'm saying? That's how I trick myself, my ego. But everybody has their lower ego that's always telling them, no, you got to stay home today. Don't go to work.
So with the children of the sons of the light, like, what were your ideas? Like,
well, really just express the true meaning, the truth. And one of the bad things is that when the truth is exposed, a lot of people tend to, like you said, turn the other way. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to see the truth. They like to live in their comfortable shell where they know that, they're saved as long as they said a little prayer, took some communion, and stuff like that, and go to church every Sunday. It's more than that.
It's more.
Yeah, in my philosophy, yes. Yeah, but of course, it's my philosophy that you don't die, even if you don't find it. You just, all of your memories just wiped, and you just reincarnate into this new soul, and you just, and in that moment of judgment with God, because in my book, there aren't as many people in this universe as we think. We think there's billions of people here, but just think about it. If all these people in the past that became enlightened, where did they go? They're probably here. They probably just can't tell us that they're enlightened, because if they do, they'll be banished or something like that, or come back here to hell, the hell on earth.
I believe in a reincarnation. I know, like, you do, but a lot of people don't. How would you, like, explain that to people?
Well, I know, just since I've been young, I've seen there seemed to be like an importance on the cocoon and the caterpillar and the butterfly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, just, I don't know. It just seems like there's some kind of the gods just showed it to me. You know, they just said, "Hey, this is how it goes." You know, this is metamorphosis. We're gonna our death is our cocoon state. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You know, that's what I believe. But
So you gonna do like clips on like some of the stuff?
yeah. I could do clips. Yeah, because yeah, I just gotta watch doing the musics and breaking all the copyright rules because
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I want to get into philosophy. But I also got this little board right here and this dry erase board. And I want to put that up. I'm gonna try to glue up. I got some
See, I was
patches
like
and
thinking,
stuff.
it's like
Try to glue it up right
we
there.
can like build our own like little sound for like your clip, my clip, or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Just,
where it won't be copyright. You know, like get our own little sound.
right.
You know, probably like sit down, put on a chalkboard. You know, like whenever we get together and come up with some clips. You know, like ideas.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. People just got to be aware, though. That's for sure. But that's another thing. Like I've been noticing, like once you become balanced with the universe, you know, that's what I talk about in my book. But once you become balanced with the universe, you know, it's like you realize more in the universe. You realize more of the beauty in the universe. Like you see numbers and you see that there's a significance to these numbers.
Yeah.
Like even to the point of license plates and street roads and you know and so forth. You know, I mean, it's the numerology has a meaning in the universe, and a lot of people just you got to understand it all like ties together, and you can like for instance when you gain these upper levels of enlightenment, you know, I think you start to see in your environment like stuff. You know, as far like the sevens, you know, you just see 777, you know, stuff like that's what I've been seeing a lot lately. Sevens and 49 and you know like 36, you know, and stuff like that, you know, but 23, you know, just this final state of enlightenment, you know, that's, you know, what they mean to me, these numbers, 38 and 39, I'm seeing 39 a ton, right, you know, lately, and that's just rising up, you know, to the grand enlightenment where everybody in the world, all of us, 144,000 seeds that are protected, you know, in this book of Revelations.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're surrounded by the demons and the angels. You know, the angels are here with us. You know what I'm saying? God is right here with us. You know, that's my philosophy. But you know, a lot of it's just based in Hermeticism and stuff too. The philosophy, you know, that a lot of people call them the I forget the term for it, but you know, I'll have to add a couple of these things that I couldn't think of. But yeah, this will be like our first kind of show here, you know, our first talk show, you know, on the Sons of Light, you know, the battle that we face every day of good and evil. You know, every day each of us faces this battle, and you know, you can't lie to yourself. There's a battle. You know, you can't do everything the neighbor tells you to do. You know, don't betray a friend just because they say they're not cool. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, that's how I think this whole world is backwards, and we've just been molded by these fallen angels. You know, that's my philosophy. So sure, you have good politicians, you have bad politicians, you have good cops, you have bad cops, you have good civilians,
like we need
you
to
have
stand
bad
together
civilians.
as a society because too many people try to take advantage of others. You know, it's like my situation. It's like people don't want to talk to me if I don't have money. And I think that's kind of messed up.
Right.
You know,
That's
everybody.
one of the themes these days. Yeah. I think.
You know, I just had a situation today about that. So, you know, but it's what it is. It's like their loss. I say, you know, it's like they don't want to be friends with me. It's like everybody has their favoritism of others, you know. So
yeah, I know
I'm
what
not
you mean.
everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
But,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's money hungry people out there, and they're just feeding into these demons. They're feeding into the demons of greed.
Yeah.
You know, they're feeding into the demons of lust or whatever. You know, and it's, you know, the people that have all the cards in their hand, you know, they could be the demons. You know what I'm saying? You got to watch who you're influenced by. You got to watch, you know, your circle of friends.
Yeah.
You know, because you really don't know. Like, just look at their intentions, and a lot of times you can see what their intentions are. Like, let's say your friend is like really cool, you like her a lot, and you go over to hang out with her at her house, and she wants you to scam some people. You know, it's like, you threw yourself out there, but you know, not so far at a point where you couldn't retreat. You know, God always gives you a way out, I believe. So, yeah, I hope you guys hang in there, and you know, let's be a woke America. Yeah, Sons of the Light. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Sweet. Yeah, cool.